meteorologist Joe Garbacik, and senior news analyst L.A. Tyrone.
The shooting of 26-year-old Jonathan Garay by a Hazleton City police officer was ruled justified, and it's our top story tonight. Good evening. This is WYLN's late edition for Wednesday, October 16th, 2013. I'm Ann Gownley. Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis has ruled the shooting death of 26-year-old Jonathan Garay of Hazleton by a Hazleton police officer justified. She held a press conference this afternoon at Troop N Barracks in Hazleton. After gathering numerous pieces of evidence and speaking with family members of 26-year-old Jonathan Garay, witnesses, and police, Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis has ruled that Garay's death on October 5th at his Alter Street home by a Hazleton police officer was justified.
After having reviewed the physical evidence, limited video footage, statements of witnesses, autopsy information, and reports of investigators, it is clear that the shooting itself in this instant case is justified.
Salavantis provided a 4-page report to the media detailing all the information from that October night.
During the struggle, this officer discovered that Mr. Garay had a handgun in his possession. A second officer arrived on scene and was advised by the first officer that Mr. Garay had a gun, shouting out to the second officer, "Gun, gun." The second officer at that time drew his weapon while approaching. During the struggle, the gun had fallen from Mr. Garay's waistband, and the second officer attempted to secure it by placing his foot on top of it. During this time, Mr. Garay continued to struggle and fight with the first officer, broke free, dove for the gun, and pulled it out from under the second officer's foot. After gaining control of the gun, Mr. Garay then pointed the gun at the officer, and the officer responded by firing a single shot, which struck Mr. Garay in the left side of his face.
The first shot, according to Salavantis, was not lethal. Garay then stood up with the gun, which he again pointed at the officer, and that's when the same officer fired again, striking him in his lower back, which was fatal. Blood tests from Garay during an autopsy show he had a blood alcohol level of 0.35. Surveillance videos obtained by state police through a search warrant only show Garay and a friend returning to 521 Alter Street, but does not show the shooting. After the shooting, family members said that Garay did have a gun, but the safety was on. Police collected the gun, only to find out otherwise.
A black and silver firearm registered to the decedent was recovered within feet of the decedent's body with the safety off and chamber loaded. While it was reported by the family that the firearm was in a holster, there are no signs of the holster. It was not recovered from the scene or the decedent.
Salavantis says she will not confirm the names of those present or involved in the shooting because of rumors of threats and retaliation. She adds that state police have granted the request for them to assist the Hazleton Police Department with additional patrols following today's announcement.
We are asking that if there are any individuals out there that may know of potential threats or people that are out there threatening the police departments or any other individual with regard to this incident, we ask that they call the state police here in Hazleton or my office as soon as possible.
The Hazleton officer involved in the shooting is still on administrative leave. A Wilkes-Barre fugitive was apprehended tonight. Peter Naperkowski had been wanted for the armed holdup of a convenience mart at Hazel and Blackman Street a few weeks ago. He led police on a chase that ended when he disappeared into the woods behind the Edwardsville Kmart. Tonight he was spotted by local businessman Bob Kadlubowski, owner of Citywide Toting. Kadlubowski held him at gunpoint until police arrived to take him into custody. Police had labeled Naperkowski armed and dangerous. He's being held tonight and will be arraigned in the morning. Charges were already filed at District Justice Rick Cronauer's court. Late Edition has learned Naperkowski will also be charged with the holdup of the Turkey Hill on East Main Street in the Parsons section of the city as well. A search warrant was issued at the home in Wilkes-Barre where police say a 2-month-old baby boy was found not breathing Sunday morning. 2-month-old Antonio Evans was found by city paramedics with, quote, raccoon eyes and bruises under his eyes and lip at 351 North Washington Street. Police also noted that there was a deep bruise that covered nearly the entire buttocks area. Evans was taken to Wilkes-Barre General Hospital. Despite heroic efforts, he died. The city police have ruled his death a homicide after an autopsy on Monday. The search warrant was issued for the Washington Street home in an attempt to secure evidence related to the infant's death. Police in Wilkes-Barre arrested 23-year-old Amanda Andes and 28-year-old Stephen Thruss in connection with a meth lab found on Sunday. Police responded to a call at 125 Carlisle Street in the city for a child being left alone. While at the home, officers found it in deplorable condition and found methamphetamine in plain view and items related to a meth lab in the basement. 2 handguns were also seized and the home was condemned. Andes and Thruss were taken into custody and on top of the drug offenses are also being charged with child endangerment. The government shutdown is about to end and the nation's debt ceiling will be raised. INN's Phil Doherty has the details.
The Senate proposal passed today. It would end the partial government shutdown by funding the government through January 15th, and it would raise the debt ceiling through February 7th.
But after weeks spent facing off across a partisan divide that often seemed too wide to cross, our country came to the brink of a disaster. But in the end, political adversaries set aside their differences and disagreements to prevent that disaster.
This has been a long, challenging few weeks for Congress and for the country. It's my hope that today we can put some of those most urgent issues behind us.
Essentially passed the bill that is negotiated between Senators McConnell and Reid, and I believe that the House would first pass it, then send it to the Senate.
This vote is not just a must for funding the government. The rating agency Fitch is considering lowering the U.S. AAA credit rating. S&P already downgraded it in 2011.
That compromise passed the Senate 81-18 this evening. The House is expected to vote on it before midnight, and it is expected to pass. 2 separate burglaries in the borough of Freeland. The first happened sometime between Sunday night and Monday morning at Lou's Delicatessen near Center Street. We spoke with Sergeant Matt Williams of the Freeland Police Department.
There was some food taken, and I believe there were some payroll checks taken.
Another burglary, this time at a local church at St. John's UCC Church on Washington Street, was broken into early this morning. Parishioners say they are extremely upset that someone could steal from a church.
There was several computers that were taken as far as we know. We were able to contact PSP R&I, and along with one of our officers, they have lifted some prints at the crime scene.
As police search for the suspects involved, Sergeant Williams offers this advice.
First and foremost, what you want to do is everybody has to watch out for their neighbor. Keep your eyes and ears open for suspicious vehicles, suspicious people. It's a good idea to get some motion lights if you don't have them outside of your business or outside of a residence. Security systems, you can buy cameras and get them set up. They're not that expensive. If you want to go the extra little bit to get a camera that doesn't help, that helps as well.
Williams says they will be beefing up patrols and residents will soon see more officers out on the streets protecting the borough. Anyone with information on either of these burglaries are asked to contact the Freeland Police Department at 570-636-0141. A Hazleton man was arrested by Freeland police officers after he allegedly robbed and assaulted a business owner. According to police, 24-year-old Robert DeMelfi Jr. of Grand Street in Hazleton entered a Freeland business and proceeded to the rear of the business, which is also the owner's home. The victim was sitting at his kitchen table when DeMelfi asked him to come into the store. When he stood up, DeMelfi struck him in the left eye with a closed fist, knocking him to the ground. Police say DeMelfi then reached into the victim's pocket and removed roughly $200. DeMelfi then demanded more money and proceeded to open up all of the drawers. The victim told police that DeMelfi had been in his store nearly a week ago asking for $20. DeMelfi is charged with 1 count each of burglary, robbery, harassment, assault, and related counts. Same agent, different carrier. That's the situation in the Hazleton Area School District. There was a special board meeting tonight to deal with the long-running issue of insurance coverage for the district. Tonight, the board voted to return to the Dreyfus Agency as its local agent, but also asked Dreyfus to switch its coverage to Wright Specialty Insurance. The board had considered switching agents, but stated that when an analysis of the policy offered showed the coverage granted wasn't what it was promised. The district has been with Dreyfus for many years. The action covers all liability insurance the district carries, including commercial property, equipment breakdown, crime, auto, and student accident insurance. It does not cover any health insurance for district employees, as the district self-insures. Wilkes-Barre Township Fire Chief John Yuknavage is facing more charges. 4 more counts of allegedly taking funds by the township to fire department were bound over to Commonwealth Court by District Magistrate Joseph Halessi after lengthy preliminary hearings this morning. Several witnesses testified that checks which were intended for deposit only were only partially deposited, with some of the money being taken out as cash. Assistant District Attorney Michael Melnick ran through 4 years of monthly checks from the township to the fire department. Prosecutors allege that Yuknavage took more than $40,000 from 2008 to 2011. Yuknavage's attorney Barry Diller argued that there was neither proof of the crime nor proof that his client committed these acts. An arraignment has been set for January 3rd of 2014. A man from Hemlock Terrace in Mountaintop has been charged with sexual assault. 38-year-old Salvatore Argo surrendered with his lawyer at District Magistrate Judge Ronald Swank's office today. Fairview Township Police charged Argo after a woman claimed he sexually assaulted her inside his residence in August. Now, according to police, the two met on Match.com in August 6th. The woman said that she drove to Argo's home on August 17th, planning to go to dinner, but invited her inside. Argo said during his arraignment that the sexual encounter with the woman was consensual. Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs has released an opening date for its new 7-story, 238 hotel room. It is expected to open on November 18th, 12 days earlier than expected. President and Chief Executive Officer at Mohegan Sun said that they are thrilled to have the chance to open the doors early and invite guests to come and enjoy Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs while a whole new light, unquote. The hotel will include 126 king beds and 92 double queen bed standard guest rooms, as well as 20 suites. There will be Wi-Fi, fitness center, indoor heated swimming pool, and full-service spa, Sapphire, and much more. Reservations can be made for November 18th and beyond at MoheganSunPocono.com or by phone at 1-800-WIN-NPA. It's an old game with a new name, and it has many businesses from the Hazleton area on it. Our Julie Stefanovich has the details on the new Hazletonopoly.
For those who grew up playing the game of Monopoly, a new version will be hitting the area soon called Hazletonopoly. The board game features local businesses near and dear to the region. Ever dreamed of owning your favorite area establishment? Well, here's your chance. But Hazletonopoly is created for more than just fun and games. Gary Danish of the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce stepped away from competing today to explain.
It's a fundraiser. We want to really emphasize that if there are nonprofits out there, that they can come in, purchase games, and then they can make a profit on it too. They can make it like $5 a game on this for their own nonprofit for their use. So if you sold 200 games, that's like $1,000 that you can earn for this. Some money will be going back to the chamber too off this game to help with projects for downtown and other things that the chamber participates in.
Similar games have been produced in other areas, but the Chamber wanted to create one through the cooperation of local businesses to represent the Greater Hazleton area.
Hazletonopoly game, and One Point Marketing and Office Furniture came to us. They actually have a game they developed for Scranton and one for Wilkes-Barre, and they approached us on designing a game for Greater Hazleton. We wanted to make sure it was Greater Hazleton because there are a lot of businesses that are part of the chamber that aren't only in the proper of the Hazleton city. So we got this together. We got a lot of sponsors, great sponsors on here, and you'd see them on the board. The board is customized with each individual advertiser.
The game is a limited edition, so anyone interested in purchasing them has a couple of options in doing so.
We'll launch this game at our Taste of Hazleton this coming Sunday, and from that point on, like next week, you'll be able to, one of the places you'll be able to get them to is down at Giant Supermarket. They're a big sponsor of this game, and as you can see, even on they have the Giant bonus cards as one of the pieces, so we really want to thank them for participating. Keep in mind, once they're gone, because this is a limited edition game, exclusive for Greater Hazleton.
So grab your friends and family members and get ready to take part in a one-of-a-kind experience. In Hazleton for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
It was the annual Lupus Foundation lunch for its volunteers today. It happened at Bonanza in Hazel Township this afternoon. Lupus Foundation President Cindy Donlin says it's a way of saying thanks to all those who helped out this past year.
because you want to let people know that you appreciate what they do. In today's world where everybody's taken, I want to give back a little bit because I realize that people have no money anymore. The economy's tight, and people don't have to be doing this for me. So I want them to know that I appreciate everything that they do, and this is my way of thanking the community for being so supportive of us throughout the year, and also for the decade. It's been 10 years since we got started with this.
The foundation also gave out its awards to volunteers. The new one this year was Volunteer of the Decade, won by Elaine and Tom Zarkowski.
I have been helping Cindy with the lupus. It's 10, 11 years now. And I get more, our involvement as my husband's is getting the tricky trays, storing them at our house, getting to the facility where we're going to have the Festival of Wolves, and then also getting things set up, making sure the food arrangements are made, anything that needs to be done.
Yes, we do. We contribute because, again, we believe it's a good cause. She and my partner have, and myself, we've gotten together, and we're glad to be involved in this organization.
It's not just important for health, but it's also important, for eyes, from where we work, from the standpoint, just needs, to do a lot of good for the community.
It's been over a decade since Cindy and the Lupus Foundation began raising awareness of the autoimmune disease and started raising funds to add research for treatment and a possible cure. Well, stay tuned to WYLN for an announcement about a special programming commemorating 50 years of St. John Bosco Parish in Cunningham and dedication of a restored altar. Bishop Joseph Bambera celebrates the special occasion, and you can see it in its entirety soon, only on WYLN. And it's time to get your phones out because we have more tickets to give away this evening for Big Bad Voodoo Daddy at the Wilty Center this Friday night. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. The high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. If you'd like to swing to the music, you can win a pair of tickets right now. Just dial 570-459-1869, extension 1172. Leave your name and number for a chance to win. We will pick one name at random, and remember, you can only win once every 60 days from any of our drawings. This is for the live 10 o'clock newscast only, so dial now, and good luck. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with our chief meteorologist, Joe Garbacik, in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center with the latest on this upcoming rain. Joe?
Thanks very much, Ann. Definitely getting a little bit chilly out here in the backyard, but the good news is at this point it still is dry. However, that's not going to last that much longer. We have some rain to talk about in our forecast. We also have some much chillier air to talk about as well. Speaking of some chilly air, where is it across the U.S., you might ask right now? Well, on the national map, you'll be able to see for yourself. You don't have to go too far toward the west. 60s ahead of the front, behind the front, 50s, and eventually temperatures drop into the 40s from Minneapolis through Omaha and even Denver, Colorado. We will talk when we'll start to see some of that colder air move into our area coming up next.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
Hi everybody, this is Richie Molinaro, Marketing Director for Fairway Chevrolet in Hazleton. Since Berwick Chevrolet is no longer an authorized Chevrolet dealer, I'd like to personally invite you to join our Fairway family. We'll provide you with the utmost courtesy from Chevrolet sales, service, and parts to our state-of-the-art body shop and auto spot. We have over 300 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. We're the #1 commercial truck and business elite dealer in Pennsylvania, and we would be honored to be your Chevrolet dealer.
Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, we feature Farmer's Iced Tea regular diet for only $1.88 a gallon.
We
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. For chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and trophy trout fishermen, which is why we've built our new Discoverer AT3 for all traction, all terrain, all the time performance. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Swing to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy October 18th at the Alice E. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center at the Historic Castle in Hazleton. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. And today, the high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. Join the party. Shake and move to the groove October 18th.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Cloud. In exchange for allowing casino gaming in Pennsylvania, residents were promised property tax relief. While some money has been shared, we're still waiting to feel the real benefits. This week, we will discuss the need for property tax reform with two outspoken advocates. You won't want to miss This Week on the Storm, only on WYLN TV 35.
Right now at this 10 o'clock hour across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. It continues to be quiet across all. We have nothing to deal with. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. You can see a couple of specks of green here and there, but again, really this is not reaching the ground, and the only thing that's out there is a couple of sprinkles. And as we go through the overnight hours, may have to deal with a shower or two around, but then as we go into later tomorrow evening, I think that's another chance of seeing some rain. 56 degrees, our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton. Humidity coming in at 100%. The pressure at 29.90 inches of mercury. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day: 58 and 47, 61 and 41 are the averages. 84 and 28, the record high and low, they still stand. 717, 621, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. Temperature-wise, this morning, waking up into the 40s, some lower 50s out there. So it was a cool start to our morning, but I think tonight will be a little bit cooler across our region, although we did get up into the 50s and 60s statewide. Temperature-wise right now, 56 in New Angola, 60 degrees in Jim Thorpe, 59 in Berwick, 59 in Bloomsburg, 57 in Monroe City, and 58 degrees in Danville. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Again, not much happening. A few spritzes, a little bit of a light shower here and there. Still the clouds on the increase, a few breaks in the clouds. This is the leading edge of some rain, and it'll come through as we head through tonight, so we may have to deal with a shower or two around across our area. And then, as we progress through tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, it looks like we're going to be looking at the next chance of seeing some more rain, some more widespread showers heading into later tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, at least part of the overnight hours. And then after that, things are going to get much cooler as we progress through the next couple of days. Skycast precipitation and clouds will show you. One system comes through, not doing a lot through tonight, maybe a shower or two around. Then this other one comes through as we head into later tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. And as it does so, it's going to bring with it some much chillier air across our area as we go into our Friday, as we go into the weekend. And next week, gradually those numbers are going to go down. High temperatures, that is, and then eventually we may be struggling just to make it out of the 40s for daytime highs. Here's a look at some of the numbers as we go through tonight and tomorrow. 60s to near 70 degrees, and as we head into tomorrow night, and as we go into our Friday afternoon, temperatures in the 50s to lower 60s. So one system moves out, another system moves in later tomorrow evening, and then it's going to bring in some much chillier air across the Northeast going into the weekend and as we start going into next week. So tonight, generally, temperatures in the 50s. We'll have to deal with a shower or two around, but that's pretty much about it. Really not expecting anything significant to deal with across our area. And then after that, as we head into our weekend and going into next week. Again, some much chillier air on the move. We'll talk about the complete 7-day forecast coming up a little bit later on, but after these commercial messages, Beth will be back in with sports.
Are you tired of being overweight? Do you have food cravings? Do you get tired during the day? Do you have problems sleeping at night? Do you exercise but can't lose the weight? Have you tried every new diet? Fat-burning hormones working for you or against you? If you're ready for some answers, call 218-0002 and register for a free weight loss seminar from Rodman Natural Health Solutions. You can learn how to finally lose your weight and keep it off. Seating is extremely limited, so call 218-0002 now or go to drrodman.clubreduce.com.
Everyone knows Dan here at Heritage Hill. He's been devoted to our family of residents for over a decade. Experienced, nurturing, exceptional. It's what our care team is all about. Our residents enjoy personal care, homemade meals, day trips, clubs, and social activities. Shepherd's Garden, our memory care neighborhood, ensures a compassionate and secure environment. Come meet us. We're honored to share our hearts, our home, our heritage of caring. Heritage Hill Senior Community in Weatherly. Call today for your free personal tour.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
Join the American Cancer Society October 27th for the Survivor Runway Spooktacular from 1 to 3 p.m. at the top of the 80s. All proceeds from the event will benefit the Look Good, Feel Better program, providing wigs to cancer patients. Join them for fun and fashion. There'll be a tricky tray, door prizes, celebrity guest bartenders, and State Representative Tara Toohill will join both patient and caregiver models in showcasing some of the season's high fashion. Light refreshments and a cash bar will be available. Bring a friend and take a Sunday afternoon to help the American Cancer Society and the Look Good, Feel Better program.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy right here on location in Hazleton Physical Therapy. Therapist Tino is going to talk to us about subacromial impingement. It's a big word. It can cause you big problems if it's happening to you. Tino's going to tell you about the treatment. It's all coming up this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Join us.
This coming Saturday, many big names will be flocking to Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs as the racetrack welcomes the 30th Breeders' Crown. Those big names include Royalty for Life, Captain Treacherous, and E.L. Rocket, just to name a few, and they are the top horses in the nation going head-to-head in the harness racing event. It's the second year the Breeders' Crown will be held in northeastern Pennsylvania. The first was 2010.
Racehorses are in many ways capable of some of the very same traits as human athletes. It is my belief that horses can sense when they do good in winning a race. And like us, they know the feeling of victory. A good horse, and even more so a great horse, truly loves that feeling. This Saturday you will be privileged to watch a lot of great horses.
The ballroom at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs was filled today with representatives from the media, the track itself, the Pennsylvania Association of Harness Racing, the Hamiltonian Society, and some of the nation's top jockeys who will be vying for a first-place finish in this Saturday night's Breeders' Crown. The Breeders' Crown first came to Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs in 2010, and with it being such a success, the Hamiltonian Society chose to pick the venue again for this year, something that Vice President of Racing Operations at Pocono Downs, Dale Rapson, is very proud of.
30 years ago, I used to go to these simulcast conferences, and it was a joke. The big joke was, if you can't race anywhere, go to Pocono. The only people that went to Pocono that couldn't get anywhere else. Now it's the track to be at. And because of things like the Hambletonian, the Breeders' Crown, events like this have put us into a major league track.
Also in the audience at today's ceremony, John Campbell. Campbell is known as the all-time leading driver in harness racing and has been involved in the circuit for a number of years. In his years of racing, he won 45 races in the Breeders' Crown Series alone, with over $20 million in purses won. Today, representatives from the Breeders' Crown also held the draw for the 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Trot, with Captain Treacherous and Royalty for Life getting the number 1 spots, making things difficult from the get-go for Campbell and his horse.
Yeah, I think it's maybe a little more advantageous for Captain Treacherous to draw the Royal than Royalty for Life. He's a little handier at the gate. What jumps out at me is my horse drawing the 8-hole against Captain Treacherous. That's a tough hill to climb when you're giving away post position to such a great horse. My horse raced really well in the elimination, but I was really hoping for a better draw.
For those who don't know, in harness racing, the Breeders' Crown is the top of the top, and Campbell was happy to see it back at Pocono Downs.
Well, I think it shows the commitment that Mohegan Sun has to harness racing, for one thing, and I think I am on the Hambletonian Society, and we determine where the Breeders' Crown goes, and we were very impressed with how the 2010 event was handled, and I think having that year under their belt, they're going to do an even better job, and their commitment to racing and the Breeders' Crown is really impressive from a Hambletonian Society standpoint.
Campbell then explained just how big this weekend is for the sport of harness racing.
We have 12 championship races, and there are different divisions for our trotters and pacers, and there's year-end voting for champions in each division, and Breeders' Crown has such an impact on how those division winners are going to be determined. The voters are very heavily weighted when it comes to Breeders' Crown victories, and so there's added significance. Plus, we're racing for $500,000 a race. That's significant, and that's something we like as well.
Pretty big event going on there. The Breeders' Crown races will take place this Saturday right in our own backyard at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. If you don't have anything to do, make sure you go check it out. And Gownley will be back on the desk next. Stay tuned.
Why should you visit Penn State Hazleton?
Because if you come to our Penn State Day open house, there's no application fee. We have fun.
We have the Lion.
We have new scholarship money.
Students are scoring internships
all over the country. Penn State is ranked #1
by corporate recruiters.
And this is your chance to see campus, talk to students, meet professors, and check out everything Penn State has to offer.
Penn State Hazleton.
Check us out at psu.edu/visit Hazleton.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
Weatherwood is a privately owned 200-bed nursing and rehabilitation center. Nestled within the quiet town of Weatherly, PA, we offer our residents and their families tranquil and scenic views from just about anywhere in the building. We are located within minutes of Hazleton General Hospital, as well as major metropolitan medical and trauma centers in the Lehigh Valley. Whispering Meadows is a 50-bed secured dementia unit within our facility. Whether you need short-term, long-term, or respite stay, call or stop by today for a tour.
WILN TV 35, first in live sports.
Hi, I'm Ron Jaworski. For the best in local TV sports, watch WILN TV 35.
WILN TV 35 has it covered.
Hi, my name is Vince Papelli. I'm a former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver and special teams guy, and for local sports coverage, I watch only WILN 35.
WILN TV 35, the event, not just the highlights.
Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis has ruled the shooting death of 26-year-old Jonathan Garay of Hazelton by a Hazelton police officer justified. She held a press conference this afternoon at Troop N Barracks in Hazelton. After gathering numerous pieces of evidence and speaking with family members of 26-year-old Jonathan Garay, witnesses, and police, Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis has ruled that Garay's death on October 5th at his Alter Street home by a Hazelton police officer was justified.
After having reviewed the physical evidence, limited video footage, statements of witnesses, autopsy information, and reports of investigators, it is clear that the shooting itself in this instant case is justified.
Salavantis provided a 4-page report to the media detailing all the information from that October night.
During the struggle, this officer discovered that Mr. Garay had a handgun in his possession. A second officer arrived on scene and was advised by the first officer that Mr. Garay had a gun, shouting out to the second officer, "Gun, gun." The second officer at that time drew his weapon while approaching. During the struggle, the gun had fallen from Mr. Garay's waistband, and the second officer attempted to secure it by placing his foot on top of it. During this time, Mr. Garay continued to struggle and fight with the first officer, broke free, dove for the gun, and pulled it out from under the second officer's foot. After gaining control of the gun, Mr. Garay then pointed the gun at the officer, and the officer responded by firing a single shot, which struck Mr. Garay in the left side of his face.
The first shot, according to Salavantis, was not lethal. Garay then stood up with the gun, which he again pointed at the officer, and that's when the same officer fired again, striking him in his lower back, which was fatal. Blood tests from Garay during an autopsy show he had a blood alcohol level of 0.35. Surveillance videos obtained by state police through a search warrant only show Garay and a friend returning to 521 Alter Street, but does not show the shooting. After the shooting, family members said that Garay did have a gun, but the safety was on. Police collected the gun, only to find out otherwise.
A black and silver firearm registered to the decedent was recovered within feet of the decedent's body with the safety off and chamber loaded. While it was reported by the family that the firearm was in a holster, there are no signs of the holster. It was not recovered from the scene or the decedent.
Salavantis says she will not confirm the names of those present or involved in the shooting because of rumors of threats and retaliation. She adds that state police have granted the request for them to assist the Hazelton Police Department with additional patrols following today's announcement.
We are asking that if there are any individuals out there that may know of potential threats or people that are out there threatening the police departments or any other individual with regard to this incident, we ask that they call the state police here in Hazelton or my office as soon as possible.
The Hazelton officer involved in the shooting is still on administrative leave. A search warrant was issued at the home in Wilkes-Barre where police say a 2-month-old baby boy was found not breathing Sunday morning. 2-month-old Antonio Evans was found by city paramedics with, quote, raccoon eyes and bruises under his eyes and lip at 351 North Washington Street. Police also noted that there was a deep bruise that covered nearly the entire buttocks area. Evans was taken to Wilkes-Barre General Hospital where, despite heroic effort, he died. City police have ruled his death a homicide after an autopsy on Monday. The search warrant was issued for the Washington Street home in an attempt to secure evidence related to the infant's death. A Wilkes-Barre fugitive was apprehended tonight. Peter Naperkowski had been wanted for the armed holdup of a convenience mart at Hazel and Blackman Street a few weeks ago. He led police on a chase that ended when he disappeared into the woods behind the Edwardsville Kmart. Tonight he was spotted by local businessman Bob Kadlubowski, owner of Citywide Tony. Kadlubowski held him at gunpoint until police arrived to take him into custody. Police had labeled Naperkowski armed and dangerous. He's being held tonight and will be arraigned in the morning. Charges were already filed at District Court Rick Coronauer's office. Late Edition has learned Naperkowski will also be charged with the holdup of the Turkey Hill on East Main Street in the Parsons section of the city as well. Police in Wilkes-Barre arrested 23-year-old Amanda Andes and 28-year-old Stephen Thrust in a connection with a meth lab found on Sunday. Police responded to a call at 125 Carlisle Street in the city for a child being left alone. While at the home, officers found it in deplorable condition and found methamphetamine in plain view and items related to a meth lab in the basement. 2 handguns were also seized and the home was condemned. Andes and Thrust were taken into custody and on top of the drug offenses are also being charged with child endangerment. Now the government shutdown is about to end and the nation's debt ceiling will be raised. INN's Phil Doherty has the details.
The Senate proposal passed today. It would end the partial government shutdown by funding the government through January 15th, and it would raise the debt ceiling through February 7th.
But after weeks spent facing off across a partisan divide that often seemed too wide to cross, our country came to the brink of a disaster. But in the end, political adversaries set aside their differences and disagreements to prevent that disaster.
This has been a long, challenging few weeks for Congress and for the country. It's my hope that today we can put some of those most urgent issues behind us.
Essentially pass the bill that is negotiated between Senators McConnell and Reid, and I believe that the House would first pass it, then send it to the Senate.
This vote is not just a must for funding the government. The rating agency Fitch is considering lowering the U.S. AAA credit rating. S&P already downgraded it in 2011.
Now that compromise passed the Senate 81 to 18 this evening. The House is expected to vote on it before midnight and is expected. Now I'm joined by senior news analyst. Tell me,
Well, just on this, I just checked, as a matter of fact, a moment ago, and as I saw, the House has not yet voted on it, but it is expected to pass it, yeah.
First thing I know we want to talk about is District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis having her ruling. I know we talked about it a lot last night. You wanted all the details. There's 4 pages of details, and is it?
There are a lot of details in here. For 4 pages, it's very concisely written. Some of the things that we alluded to last night were not mentioned in here because they were not deemed significant enough to the case. As I read this, I mean, I think you have to say that it's thorough. I think it's convincing, and unless there is any evidence to the contrary that is not in here, that is something that we may not expect, unless there is any other evidence to the contrary, I think I would consider this case closed. Now, I can tell you that the Gray family, if they choose to, if they still feel aggrieved by this, they can file a federal civil rights suit, and it would go to a federal magistrate, most likely at District Court in Scranton, who would then have to rule whether or not there would be enough to send the case to trial. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. Just at this point, I'm satisfied that the investigation was done, that it's thorough, and let's all calm down. Let's let the rumors go away, first of all.
What you're saying is with rumors, and I want to say that, reading through this, and I know you've read through it, there was a lot of rumors about the witnesses to it. The mother was a witness. The family said that she held her son while he was shot.
Right.
Now, in this report, the district attorney nor the state police have actually had the chance to speak with the mother because of
it goes in here. Now, her attorney says it's because of medical conditions.
But then she also said it's because you already know everything. I don't need to talk to you.
Well, there were 4 or 5 meetings that were scheduled.
Right.
And the mother didn't show up for any of them. Her attorney is saying that it is because of medical reasons, so whether or not it is, I don't know. But I mean, when you're given 4 or 5 chances to tell your story and you don't, I mean, what else can the investigators conclude? There was also word of surveillance video taken inside the house. The video did not show anything related to
the
it.
shooting.
Did not show the shooting. The video that was taken outside the house, you and I had already seen. It was cell phone video that was taken from across the street.
You only saw emergency
after the
responders.
fact, right? You saw the ambulance and you saw the ambulance personnel carrying the body out, and that it really didn't show anything that was related to the shooting. So, like I said, that's it. If they still feel aggrieved, they do have the option of going there out of a civil rights violation. Whether or not they do, that's up to that family.
And continuing up 81 up north, you've got Peter Napierkowski, who has been apprehended.
Thank God Bob Kadlubowski's on our side. Let's put it that way, all right?
Bob Kadlubowski actually called us, around 9:30 tonight to tell us what happened. And we both took the phone call, but he gave you most of the...
Well, I know Bob, and, Bob's a little crazy sometimes, but it is worth noting that for some of the antics that he's done at city council and all that, he gets involved in all this stuff because he cares about the city. And
I
cares
talk to
about
Bob
the condition of the city.
Kadlubowski once a day, almost.
Yeah, and he also does know Napierkowski, and he told me, he said, he's not a bad guy, he's got a heroin problem. So what he's hoping for is that by having him apprehended, that, he's likely to get some kind of jail time. He also hopes that he gets drug treatment to get off heroin, and that would solve the problem. We did find out tonight, and this was kind of speculation anyway, that he's also, in addition to, he's already charged with the one at Hazel and Blackman Street. Those charges, we had the story yesterday because we had the arrest affidavit from Cronauer's office. He is also going to be charged with the one on East Main Street in the Parsons section of the city, which is north of downtown. It's one of the 3 northern sections of the city. That was held up the other day, and we'll see if there's any more coming out of it.
We'll see what happens with that. Also, I know we did talk about this again last night, the infant, the 2-month-old.
What a horrible story. I mean, it was bad enough what you and I talked about last night, but then I got to look at the arrest affidavit,
and
the
found
search
out
warrant
what
this
happened.
afternoon.
The injuries that were involved on this infant, they said raccoon eyes,
right. Basically bruises everywhere. There was a busted lip. There was bruises that they say covered the back and the buttocks area. There were 2 people named Johnson named in it, but they were not necessarily identified as suspects. At this point, police have not named any suspects, but as you reported a few minutes ago, they got a search warrant to search that house on Washington Street. And specifically, I was told they were looking for the baby clothes that the baby may have had on, any comforters, sheets, anything like that, and any kind of material, and they mean like rags or sponges or anything like that may have been used up, that may have been used to clean up bodily fluids. 11 murders in 10 months in Wilkes-Barre this year. It's hard to say that any is worse than the other, but this is really brutal because
especially when we're talking about a 2-month-old infant. It's absolutely gruesome when you think of something.
I'm a little surprised this actually didn't get national attention yet. I kind of expected to see it in some national sites. I didn't yet, but then again, the search warrant was just released this afternoon, so it may over the next couple of days, because it's the kind of story that does often get national attention.
All right. Well, thank you so much, L.A.
Yep.
Thank you for your input on all these stories. And
all right.
We'll have more with L.A., I'm sure, coming up in the next few days. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Beth is coming up with sports on Late Edition, and we'll see you then.
Award-winning children's recording artist Laurie Berkner will bring her music to Hazleton when the Laurie Berkner Band performs at the Wiltse Center at the Historic Castle on Saturday, November 23rd at 2 p.m. Doors open at 12:30. Tickets may be purchased through wiltsecenter.org or at Ticketmaster retail outlets including select Boscov's and Walmart locations. The Laurie Berkner Band, November 23rd at the Wiltse Center at the Historic Castle. Now, Hazel Park Spring Water is proud to announce that they are the official water of the WILN Sports Crew and available for home delivery through J.W. Wargo Spring Water Delivery and JoJo's Beverage. Since 1915, the Kreisel family has been serving the area with quality meats. The tradition continues today with 5 generations at Hazel Park Quality Meats, 260 Washington Avenue, West Hazleton, and Redding Specialty Meats, located at 216 East 4th Street in Berwick. Here are some of this week's specials.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
It's Octoberger. The sale's so big they named a month after it.
This 14 Jeep Patriot Latitude 4x4, you can buy it for $22,700 or lease it for $214,000. I also have a Chrysler 200 Limited. Buy it for $21,900 or lease it for only $189 a month. Or a Chrysler Town & Country Touring, you can buy that one for $26,900 or you can lease it for $299 a month.
It's Octoberger at Berger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Route 93, Hazleton.
All Care Home Care. the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
WYLN, your first choice for locally produced shows like Chef Lou, Jentastic Sweets, Off the Beaten Path, The Storm, and more. Find out how you can stretch your advertising dollars and be a part of the WYLN TV lineup. Call 570-459-1869, extension 1302. WYLN, we're your local network.
It looks as though Josh Freeman will be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings this weekend, when just a few weeks ago he took the snaps for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Vikings coach Leslie Frazier made the announcement today as the team prepares for their Monday night game against the New York Giants. Just a few days ago, sources close to Minnesota said they were going to hold off on Freeman for a bit to give him time to get used to the offense since he was just signed last week. The Vikings' original starter Christian Ponder, who was out with a rib injury, will be in the backup position on Monday night. Sources are saying Ndamukong Suh will be fined yet again by the NFL for lowering his head into Cleveland Browns quarterback Brandon Weeden when making a tackle this past Sunday. The Detroit Lions defensive tackle is no stranger to being fined by the league. It's the second time this season and the seventh time throughout his career. Today's hit to the pocketbook, $31,500. Or $31,500, excuse me. When the play happened in question, it happened during the Lions' 31-17 win. No flag was actually thrown during that. Suh went on record recently saying that he knows he is under a microscope in the league because of his past performances. Former Philadelphia Eagle Irving Fryar was indicted today for allegedly conspiring to steal more than $690,000 by deceiving banks into granting them several home equity loans. Also involved the former Pro Bowl wide receiver's mother. Fryar played for 4 teams from 1984 to 2000 and made the Pro Bowl 5 times. Now he is a pastor of a church that he founded and is the head coach of the Robbinsville High School varsity football team in New Jersey. Since his indictment, he was suspended by the school without pay. Earlier today, College Football Playoff Selection Committee was officially announced. The 13-member panel is headed by Arkansas Athletic Director Jeff Long, but has a number of big names, including Archie Manning, father to Peyton and Eli, Pat Hayden, Oliver Luck, and the only woman, former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. The committee will be in charge of selecting which 4 college football teams will be advancing to the new playoff format beginning in 2014 after the regular season. And the Chicago Blackhawks are celebrating a milestone. Last night was their 2500th regular season win with a 3-2 victory over the Carolina Hurricanes. Another milestone from the very same game, Blackhawks center Patrick Sharp scored his 200th goal. He had 2 last night, once in the first period for 199 and the 200th for the win in a shootout against the Hurricane goalie Cam Ward. Now it is game 5 out of 7 in the National League Championship Series, and the Cards and the Dodgers faced off earlier today for another battle royale. Adrian Gonzalez went yard twice for the Dodgers in their 6-4 win. The Cardinals lead the series, though, 3-2. In the ALCS Game 4 going on right now, Detroit was trailing the Red Sox 2-1. The Tigers came out with a roar tonight, though, scoring 5 in the second inning, starting with pitcher Jake Peavy walking Austin Jackson. With the bases loaded, the Red Sox trying to make a comeback. Jared Saltalamacchia and Shane Victorino splitting the club's RBIs. Tigers lead 7-2. On the ice, nearing the end of the third period, Rangers up 2-0 over the Capitals. John Moore and Ryan Callahan with the goals for New York. In the first period, the Ducks are leading the Flames behind a goal apiece by Dustin Penner and Kyle Palmieri. Joe's coming back right after the break.
Barber Ford. It's a cut above the rest. Buy it at Barber. Honest people where the deals are the best. Now is the time. Barber Ford is the place. 'cause I hear there's no mistake. You can't buy better. You can't buy better than Barber Ford.
Barber Ford, Route 309 in Hazleton and on Route 11 in Exeter. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
What you sleep on can change your life. It affects how you feel, your relationships, how you perform. Let the folks at Grand Central custom fit the right sleeping surface just for you. Get free interest for 36 months, free delivery, free removal, free bed frame, plus a free furniture gift card on Sealy Posturepedic hybrids and Optimum bedding. Be custom fit. Get lots of freebies. Everybody shops Grand Central. Shouldn't you?
What do you see? Perhaps you're noticing the rusted fender or the dented side panel. Maybe the first thing your eye goes to is the worn interior. But look closer and you'll see something else. Value. At Harry's You Pull It, we see value in your old car and so will others. It's the reason we offer top dollar for your car. Junker, clunker, piece of tin, your car may have many names, but at Harry's, there's only one that matters. Value. Visit one of our 3 locations today in Hazleton, Pennsburg, and Allentown.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Wouldn't it be great if everything in life were fast? Fast, like a cable modem.
Call Service Electric now and get the fastest internet in town. Plus, when you sign up today, you'll also get free installation. Experience the blazing speed of Service Electric high-speed internet service. Your internet will never be the same.
Well, we have some rain to talk about, especially as you head further out toward the west and northwest. That's the leading edge of some showers. It's going to make its way into our neck of the woods. But as it makes its way toward the east, a lot of it's going to start to fizzle out a little bit. So we'll deal with maybe a shower or two through the overnight hours, but that's pretty much about it, even into early tomorrow morning. 56 are lively high tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton. Humidity now coming in at 100%. Winds averaging about 5 miles per hour. 55 now Mount Pocono, 60 degrees. Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 63 in Williamsport, 58 degrees in State College. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures holding in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Satellites and radar. Again, you can continuously see that you get some breaks in those clouds, especially over northwestern Pennsylvania. But again, this is a leading edge of a couple of showers. We may encounter 1 or 2 of them as we go through the overnight hours. But again, I'm not expecting anything significant. And then as we progress through tomorrow, especially as we go into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, the first part of the overnight hours, some more showers will overspread our area. And then after that, it starts to dry out for our Friday and this upcoming weekend. But boy, it's going to bring in some much chillier air for the weekend. And as we start going into next week, the core of the cold air will be out through here, and temperatures over much of the nation, from the Midwest toward the Northeast to Southwest and South, temperatures will be colder than average. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys at Division of Arc Electric. So we got some more showers moving in later tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, and then it starts to dry out as we progress through our Friday. Maybe some morning showers left over, and then Saturday and Sunday things not looking too bad, but only in the 50s for daytime highs, overnight lows in the 30s. Looks like we're going to have a shot of maybe some freeze warnings or even a possibility of frost advisories probably at this point starting Friday night. If not Friday night, definitely Saturday night.
Great. Thank you very much, Joe. I kept telling him about stop mentioning frost, but sounds awful. But what are you gonna do? It's okay. One last chance to stop saying frost, though. I'm pretty sure that that's not going to happen. You already told me the same thing before, but it's okay. I'll just keep trying. I want to congratulate Linda DeAndrea for winning the tickets to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy this Friday at the Wiltsey Center. You can still get your tickets at thewiltseycenter.org, or you have one more chance to win those tickets here on Late Edition tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So one last chance to win those tickets.
Don't like hotcakes. We have a lot of people calling in, so
it's working out. So
I may have to put the animated ice scraper on for Saturday night.
No, we're done talking. Have a good night. We will see you Topic A 5:30 tomorrow and Late Edition at 10. Have a good night, everyone.